A fresh wind stirred the rocky terrain as two figures faced off under a fierce and unrelenting sun. The ground, cracked and pitted, hinted at countless battles that had already taken place here. Yet this confrontation felt different. Both warriors radiated an otherworldly power. X raised his free hand in a placating gesture. I don't want needless destruction. If we can resolve this without... Frieza cut him off with a mocking laugh. How cute! You believe you have some say in the outcome. So many have tried to lecture me, they usually end up begging. His tail flicked once, betraying an eagerness to engage. X's visor display flickered, locking on to Frieza's energy signature. The readings were off the charts compared to anything he had encountered in his own world. I have to remain calm, analyze, adapt. Without further warning, Frieza's fingers snapped up, releasing a pencil-thin death beam. X responded on reflex. He dashed sideways, a blur of azure and white. The beam lanced past, carving a smoking line across the rocky ground. Even in that narrow dodge, X felt the energy's intensity singe his side. He's stronger than I expected. I can't hold back. X returned fire with charged X-Buster shots. Blinding blue blast streaked toward Frieza, who merely lifted a single finger to deflect each projectile in turn. Frieza sneered. Tisk tisk. A little more impressive than the Ravel and Namek, but still, is this all? Yet even as Frieza spoke, X made his move. A swift dash into a wall jump. Planting his foot against a craggy outcrop, he launched himself over Frieza's head. The X-Buster roared with power, unleashing 3 rapid bursts from above. The tyrant glanced up, slightly irritated. With effortless grace, he twisted in mid-air and raised an energy shield that nullified each shot, flaring with bright purple sparks. You're nimble, I'll grant you that, but speed alone doesn't save you from ultimate power. The moment X landed, Frieza was upon him with terrifying speed, too fast. A vicious kick sent X skidding across the ground. His armor screeched as metal scraped over jagged rocks. Undeterred, X rose, letting his systems quickly repair minor damage. He initiated a variable weapons system shift. The X-Buster's barrel transformed, humming with an electric charge. I've fought mavericks with unimaginable power. I won't back down from you either. Lightning web arcs cracked the air as X launched electrified net-like blast and boxed Frieza in. The sizzling currents forced Frieza to maneuver carefully. For a moment, X found a window and delivered a charged plasma shot. The impact struck Frieza in the side, dragging him back a step. How dare you? That actually stung. Frieza's eyes narrowed, and in a blur, he answered with a devastating burst of death beams, each one precise and lethal. X managed to dash and weave between several beams, but one sliced across his right arm, causing sparks to fly. Another grazed his midsection, and a warning alarm blared inside his helmet. Frieza floated higher, forming a massive, swirling orb of energy above his fingertip, a death ball. The dark, violet sphere crackled with enough destructive power to level an entire planet. I think we've danced long enough. You should feel honored. I don't usually offer this level of display for insects. X sensed a monumental spike in energy. He triggered his Nova Strike, an all-or-nothing dash of pure power. Armor plating glowed white-hot as he rocketed upward towards Frieza's outstretched hand, hoping to stop the formation of the death ball before it could be hurled. At the point of collision, X slammed into Frieza's side, unleashing the stored energy in a fiery impact. For a moment, time seemed to slow. The intense flash illuminated both combatants, fracturing the ground below and sending shockwaves rippling across the battlefield. When the light subsided, Frieza emerged, clutching at his shoulder where his armor-like hide had been visibly scorched. He hissed in pain, but his grip on the death ball never wavered. You actually hurt me, you mechanical pest! Bracing himself, X converted his X-Buster to maximum charge one final time. Yet Frieza was too fast. In a sudden burst of motion, he smashed his own death ball into X at point-blank range rather than throwing it. The resulting explosion shook the very air, creating a colossal crater beneath them. When the smoke cleared, X was half buried in the rubble, armor cracked and flickering with damaged circuitry. Despite the catastrophic blow, he struggled to one knee, sparks dancing around his battered frame. His eye locked on Frieza, who hung in the air, bruised but still lethal. Systems nearly offline. Still, can't let him just walk away. Frieza landed lightly and surveyed the carnage. I'm almost impressed you're still functioning. The tyrant raised a hand, palm outward. A small sphere of energy crackled there, tiny compared to the death ball, but more than enough to finish the job. Goodbye, X, was it? You offered a slight distraction, but you should have known when you were outmatched. Though X attempted to stand, his damaged servos protested. Frieza fired a final beam of energy. The lance of purple-white light tore through X's chest plating with a devastating flash. The red blade system let out an anguished crackle as he collapsed to the ground, the last of his power fading. Frieza stood victorious, unscathed save for the minor burn and scratch from X's valiant efforts. There's no point in ruling if no one dares to challenge me, but I do enjoy putting overconfident challengers in their place. With that, Frieza hovered upward, giving the fallen warrior one last dispassionate glance before turning and taking to the skies. The desert battlefield fell silent, dust settling over the final crater as Megaman X's damaged frame lay still.